What is up, guys? Maccabee Speed coming at you. Great comparison episode for the TM22 today between the CCI Stingers and the Aguila Interceptor. Now, the Aguila Interceptor has long been known as the fastest 40-grain slug in 22LR configuration, but the CCI Stingers made a name for itself throughout the social media channels, right? 22 Plinkster made that round absolutely famous for us. So we're going to go ahead and see today at 25 yards, not only which one's making more energy, but more accuracy, as well as what's the better price point for you guys. All right, guys, based on the fact that we had the Aguila Interceptors already, I have them already loaded up in these magazines, and that's going to be our first competitor. On the left-hand side target at 25 yards, we're going to go ahead and get started. We already have this rifle sighted in. Chronograph is running, so we will be able to give you guys the energy as well. Scoot back into a fire. So pretty good, right out of the gate, pretty good. Aguila Interceptor absolutely performing for us. Last recorded velocity, 1,460 feet per second with a 22. So extra $1 a box for a box of 50 between, you know, $8 and $10 a box, depending on where you find it. Good stuff, good stuff. Top left diamond. That is a good ass group. I don't know if it's because the barrel got heat in it, or maybe I settled it down groove, but that's a good ass group for 25 yards per second. Pretty spicy ammunition, moving 1,429 feet per second. That's pretty good. Honestly, the cheapest AR style 22LR that you can buy. $179 is what I picked this up for, and it's 100% performing for me. My skills aren't that good, so to see that downrange, we're working today. I'm happy with this so far. Go ahead and slice open a new box of CCI Stingers. All right, guys, these rounds were absolutely made famous by 22 Plinkster, CCI Stingers. First time ever getting to shoot them. We'll see if they live up to the hype. Aguila Interceptors, pretty much batting 1,000. 25 yards, good groups, good quarter-sized groups, very ethical for pesting. See if these Stingers and their shiny nickel cases can hang with the reigning champ, the Aguila Interceptor. Center target. So now it's kind of interesting. The Stinger comes in at 32 grain weight, which is, you know, 8 grains lighter than the 40 grain standard typical 22 LR load. I'm not quite sure if that's lending to a little bit less stability at these heightened velocities. Let's go ahead and dump a couple more magazines to see what happens. Top left diamond. Wow, look at that. So that was the first group where we had a legitimate flyer. You saw that 2 o'clock position hit. It's gonna go ahead and be our very, very first flyer, but I'm not gonna knock the Stinger because out of something like a 6-inch barrel revolver, it definitely ups the ante for just, you know, a couple more bucks per box. It might be worth it for you if you have a shorter barrel and you're not too terribly worried about tap driving accuracy. Cool, dude. It's cool. 1,187 feet per second on the last shot, and I think we are clear at this point. Let's go ahead and check the cylinder, make sure. But that felt like better velocity there, yeah. Right side diamond. All right, guys, I really try to do my due diligence on this one and give the CCI Stinger every advantage I possibly could. I slowed down my shot cadence, I really focused on my fundamentals, and I just was not able to match the groups that I was laying down with the Aguila. The Aguila on the left-hand side is an apples-to-apples comparison. Same exact shooting session, same exact barrel temperature. It's just, I don't know, performing better for me in the 40 grain weight. Those are good groups for me. Those are ethical pesting groups. I'm hitting what I'm aiming at. I'm having a good, gratifying day on the range, right? Firing line is happy. All right, dudes, so it gets no more apples to apples than this. Left-hand target, Aguila Interceptor. Right-hand target, CCI Stinger. 100% effective groups from the Aguila. Less than acceptable groups from the CCI Stinger. Let's move this thing out to 50 yards and see what we get. All right, guys, we kind of dipped our toe in the pool as far as what the accuracy is going to look like at 25 yards. Let's go ahead and double that distance up to 50 yards and see what we get on those bottom sets of targets. I have a feeling the Interceptor is just going to perform for me all the way out to 100. Let's see what happens. Okay, change the objective to 50. Get comfortable, settle in. More zoom. Wow, that's crazy. Even just adding another 25 yards really opened up that group. I think we're really going to see the litmus test as far as which of these two ammunitions you can rely on at times. It's really interesting. Just like last time, once we got some heat in the barrel, it seemed like the group tightened up. I don't know if that has anything to do with like the thermal dynamics of the barrel or anything like that. I'm not an engineer, right? I'm not a engineer. But I do see that by the time I get to my second group, my groups are tight for whatever reason. Final magazine. I didn't really do a good job on that bottom left, so bottom left again. Not the tightest groups I've ever laid down in my life, but obviously this is a new rifle. And these are ammunitions that we're just kind of running through their paces. Let's get the stingers loaded up and see what we can do on that right-hand side bottom row. Same zoom, same everything. Bottom left diamond. Way off. Man, I let my frustration get the best of me there. I'm going to go ahead and redo that test on the bottom right, but definitely it's not quite lining up point of aim and point of impact. All right, so I'm gonna have to watch the footage when I get back to the house as far as where all of those impacts were, but definitely not where I was aiming and not quite as gratifying as the heavier stuff. Just a verification group, one final magazine for you guys, and then we'll take the Aguila Interceptor out to 100. At 1,591 feet per second with a 30 grain projectile, we might just be moving too quickly to really stabilize that range at 50 yards. I don't know what the quality of the barrel is like from the Rock Island crew, but by the same token, it did definitely group with the interceptors. All right, guys, so this is where my skill set personally is really going to fall apart. I'm not really a long distance shooter, and I consider 100 yards pretty far away from me because I can't see it that well, right? So anything that I can't see too clearly, I consider that long distance, and that's where we're going to see the true nature of my skills. Let's get into this. The Aguila interceptor at 100 yards. I'm just going to go ahead and use both targets for the same round, considering the Stinger did nothing for us at 50. All the zoom my scope will give me, all the objective my scope will give me. Really interesting. I don't quite understand what's happening with the thermal dynamics on this thing. The hotter the barrel gets, the tighter my groups seem to become. I don't know if it's because I'm getting a tighter grip on the round as it actually moves down the barrel or what, but it is making a difference to put some heat in the barrel. I got 10 rounds left in the box. I'm just going to load them up so I don't have to take them home with me, right? Last magazine, left-hand side target. I'm really just trying to go ahead and keep my point of aim the same and then develop a shooting cadence that really just kind of keeps things on target. That's the best I can do. Last 10 rounds pretty much did what the first 30 rounds did. Honestly, with a little bit better glass, I probably could do a little bit better job, but that really goes ahead and becomes counterproductive to the cheap rifle idea. We're into this gun for about $159 plus glass. So it is literally the most budget 22 caliber AR lookalike you could possibly buy. All right, guys, it's going to be about the most fair evaluation of these two ammunitions that I could possibly give you, right? I'm no John Wick, not by a long shot. So basically just putting my crosshairs on the target, keeping my crosshairs on the point of aim that I'm expecting, and then grouping it at that distance. That's really the most honest way I can go ahead and compare these. Let's take a walk out to the 100-yard range and see what actually happened. What up? Yo, look, that's not that bad. That's actually not that bad, dude. You just hold it on the same spot and you develop a group. That's a group you could take some data from, right? Maybe get a little bit of heat in the barrel, figure out whatever's going on this right-hand side. But this left-hand side, that's actually a consistent group that's right on par with my skills. So we could probably drag it over just a little bit to the left and just a little bit down as far as the elevation is concerned, but that's decent.